It's Lágrimas de Indio by la señora Raquel Durán. In paz descansa. Those of you who've been coming for more than a few years will remember La Señora. She was in her 70s and found poetry and art as a means of communicating her way out of severe depression, and came to Tumble Words to share that birthing and that nascence, and was such a great inspiration to all of us. I know she was to me. She was such a supporter of Tumble Words and such a supporter of me personally and my poetry. And one time I remember I wrote something in here and read it, and subsequently La Señora said to me, "You speak for us all, Donna, you speak for us all." And that is one of the greatest compliments I think I've ever received, particularly considering the source. So, you want to read this?
May I?
Can I please? May I? Sure.
Lágrimas de Indio, Raquel Durán. Llora el indio, el dolor apuñala su corazón, haciéndolo llorar lágrimas de sangre, tiñido rojo al sol. Sombras fantasmales golpean su alma sin piedad, obscureciendo las montañas. Llora el indio, su rostro firme es acero, muescas de dolor, de impotencia. Sus uñas, garras de águila, se entierran en las palmas de sus manos, haciéndolas sangrar. Oh impotencia. El que es guerrero está vencido ante la tumba, donde acostó a su india con un adiós, sin un retorno. Llora el indio, recordándola en sus brazos antes de dar a luz, agonizando con el fruto de su amor consumado en las montañas. Su llanto corre por arroyuelos que recuerdan los cabellos de ella que allí lavaba. En la panicia, búfalos marchan en cortejo fúnebre. Duerme el niño nacido entre la muerte en una choza. Llora, indio, tus lágrimas hacen nacer una flor en la tumba. Ponle el nombre de tu india a su tallo, el de su hijo. Llora, llora más. That's interesting, because it's like first you're declaring that he's crying, and then you end up telling him cry.
Well, I think she's like exhorting him to cry.
Right. But at first it's llora el indio, like she's making a statement.
Instead of an expletive.
Yeah, in the beginning it's llora el indio. She's making a statement. El dolor apuñala su corazón, haciéndolo llorar lágrimas de sangre teñidas rojo al sol. It's like she's making a statement. He's crying. And at the end, it's like, cry. Go ahead, cry. At least that's the way
What he tells to me, this poem is, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed of crying. Cry your loss, don't be ashamed.
Cry and live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the tears.
And I thought it was first about the Indian, and the last part is about the kid.
Maybe? Sure. Well, like all poetry, once it's written, it's subject to varying interpretations.
by the past.
And Raquel was such excellent poet, and she had such a grasp of Spanish and its use that any poem by Raquel's, I'm sure, can withstand 3 or 4 or more interpretations. It means what it means to the listener and to the reader. But I just thought it was very appropriate for us here today to remember her and to listen to this poem exhorting us and decrying the injustices that would be a basis for El Indio to cry, and to continue crying and to cry with his woman and with his child, I think it's a very beautiful poem. The next poem was by Jeanette DuBois, who used to live here in town for a long time, used to come to Tumblewords, was a big supporter of Tumblewords, and I'm really glad that there's a poem by her in Mezcla, page 105, if somebody wants to read it. The color of her skin. Jeanette was really, almost in all respects, a political poet. Her mom was the first African-American teacher to integrate El Paso High School. She taught at that place over there near, where is it?
No, I thought it was Jefferson.
No, it's...
Douglas? Douglas?
Well, she taught at Douglas, and then she went to Bel Air, I think it was, over there by Hacienda Heights, sort of. Yeah. Mother was this extremely esteemed African-American teacher in El Paso, and I think she taught for about 50 years, starting out at Douglas, which was a segregated school, and then moving it to Bel Air and integrating the school. And Jeanette was just enough older than us to have lived through and have direct memory of some of the more bitter and less necessarily celebrated aspects of being African American in El Paso, Texas. She grew up here. And she through and have direct memory of some of the more bitter and less necessarily celebrated aspects of being African American in El Paso, Texas. She grew up here. Then she moved to California and lived there for a long, long time. She came back here. She founded the first ever African American art gallery and cultural center, and was an exquisite supporter of Tumblewords and of my own writing personally. And unfortunately, our friendship has ruptured, but my respect for Jeanette and my love for her will never end. So, who wants to read her poem? Page 105? Yeah. There you go.
Never known me. Turned that on.
I know. Page 105. It's there.
The color of her skin. I hear the color of her skin scream out for freedom. I hear how the midnight crosses lit with fire. I see her hand fly skyward to her heaven. I see it stretch in prayer. I watch it linger there. I see her faith rise up to meet her Maker. I hear her terror calling comfort to her kin. I see the oak tree quake in condemnation. The severed spine can't split these ties that bind. The heavy hues of fortitude crumble under capture. His hooded robes repeal petition and prayer. Through the hollows of her blazing cheeks I smell the stench of death. Watch the bonfire billow and boil until she is nothing left. I hear seer and cease. I note the ghostly echo of light, and I mark the path of retreat. I see the color of her freedom fade to flaming skies. I pace a bitter bow of vengeance that will never, ever die. I sense the scent of rancid lilac vines. I hug the darkness seething in my mind. I smear her salvaged ashes across my tear-trained face. And I hunt at night with dreams ablaze with rage. I hope you're applauding her. She deserves it.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman. Okay.